Welcome to your Inspirational Astrology Horoscope for Wednesday, July 13th, 2022. I'm astrologer Dave Palmer, the Leo King, here to illuminate the collective consciousness. Well, thanks for joining me here on YouTube, if you're watching this on YouTube, or if you are a subscriber here on High Vibe. Of course, if you're watching this on YouTube, you miss my daily video horoscopes every day that are like this, and of course, all the other exclusive content that is here on High Vibe. So make sure that you join now. Of course, I'm doing a really big sale right now on all my schools. You can go to any High Vibe video and get it, or go to highvibetvschool.com and click on the link where I have packaged all my schools: Hypergate, my Love Masterclass, my tiers 1 through 4 with my Leo King Elite package, and my new Hypergate Manifestation Masterclass, all into a total package, and my e-commerce business school, all into one for a super low rate. They'll actually be here in the chat. Elizabeth will have them up here, the links there too. And they're actually below this video. I forgot about that. Anyway, we are here on this full moon in Capricorn. It's going to be a big one. I'm going to go over the chart, but I just want to say that, you know, this one's important. There's not going to be many more full moons left in our life with Pluto in Capricorn. And as Pluto's retrograding here, and ironically enough, just 2 days ago, Pluto retrograded at the exact degree when Pluto was retrograde, when the founding fathers did the Declaration of Independence. And gosh, we all woke up on our phones to having to see Hunter Biden naked everywhere on the internet. I guess that was there's a lot more to that. That's going to be the uncovering of deep truth. Kind of crazy, right? Well, here we are, full moon in Capricorn. So we've got this full moon in Capricorn. It's happening at 21 degrees of Capricorn. We've got the sun, of course, being in Cancer with this opposition with Mercury there. Mercury's at its fastest speed right now. We're trying to figure out, we're trying to understand our personal life needs. Okay, it's Cancer. How do we take care of ourselves better? Of course, that goes into family. That goes into our deeper emotional needs, especially with the South Node being in Scorpio right now, where we're seeing a nice sextile to that. This is about us really unearthing and really being honest at the full transparent level of what we need to do to actually get the emotional things that we want in our life. What do we need to cut out? Capricorn's always about making the cuts first. Being conservative, to have enough energy, especially with Mars that's in Taurus, that's at its detriment. Remember that Mars is in Venus's house. Mars was just in Aries, and it's no longer there. So, you know, energy right now, we already feel like we're behind the 8 ball on a lot of things. And it's really about the consolidation of how we use our energy correctly, about what we're putting into the resources of our life, which is the resources of our own fuel of our soul, but it's really how we take care of ourselves in our personal life. So having this Mars here only helps when you have the fuel, and how ironic we're dealing with fuel issues, of course, in the world. But I think that it's much more like understanding this full moon in Capricorn is like, what's not really serving me, or what am I trying to still do that's making me go too far? Now, I say that because we have Jupiter in Aries, of course. We're just weeks away from the stationary retrograde that's going to happen with a new moon in Leo. But, you know, this full moon, it's not an exact square, but there is that square to Jupiter, and Jupiter is the biggest planet. And it's interesting seeing that, you know, we're all in the search for who we are. We're all in the search for what we want. But at some point, we got to make a choice. And the choices that I think right now are being very clear about what emotionally we want. It's kind of interesting to even see next to the Sun Mercury, we do have Eros here, and we have Lilith conjunct. So there is a passionate and extreme emotional need, whether that's in relationships, especially that's one of the most important elements to hit on this full moon. And it seems to be on every full moon and new moon lately, relationship stuff, but especially seeing that Venus is going to be trining over at 24 degrees of Gemini to Saturn, but at the same time, we're going to see Venus square Neptune. Remember, both Saturn and Neptune are both in their home signs, right? They're the rulers of that. So to see the two rulers of Aquarius, right, and then the ruler of Pisces here, in good and a bad aspect here to Venus, with a full moon being in Capricorn, and Capricorn happens to be the ruler of Saturn, or Saturn has to be the ruler of Capricorn, right? So it's interesting seeing that this is really about really going, what with people does not make sense. What do I have to take emotionally where I'm not getting it? The emotion's not there. It's not reciprocal. And got to cut that energy out and not stop, or actually stop living in the fantasy. But where am I, hoping something will happen, but nothing's happening? That's that Neptune that's happening there in Pisces at 25 degrees and square to this Venus while this full moon's going on. So this is a full moon of the release of, trying to continue stories in your head, or trying to continue stories that really are not working in factual elements, especially even communication, or even, you don't want to be in really messy places with people right now. It's the sign that, abort mission, especially Uranus and the North Node are coming close to their conjunction. And that's coming here by the end of this month as Mars is on approach to that. That's a whole huge transit in itself that's building up and happening with the North Node Uranus. But that really is that the best things in life we won't abort, but we need to also especially, do the escape hatch on things that we realize aren't in our values or don't see our values in the same way. And that's okay. I think that it's hard in Cancer because we can get too emotional and we get too stuck on things. And especially that we've been in 14 years of Pluto Capricorn, right? Like since 2008 here. So we've been really learning a lot of lessons about knowing how to really use our emotional resource energy and making sure that we know where to invest it. That's going to get us farther in our life, right? Like if we're so stuck on certain emotional issues or so stuck on emotional things, we can never get where we're going to go. So this is a huge purge here because it's happening also in opposition to Mercury, right? In our minds, and especially that Venus and Gemini, right? There's that square to Neptune. We have to realize that, we can't keep making excuses up for things that are very clear as a bell. I need to just stop being stimulated by the imagination that hopefully that will change in my life, or hopefully this will make me feel good and it doesn't make me feel good. It's about getting out of our loops, and especially the emotional loops. And Mercury is sextiling, and the Sun pretty much, even though we saw that this weekend on Sunday, but Mercury is sextiling over to Uranus here. And the Sun and the full moon are aligned with the nodes at 21 degrees. We have the North Node and the South Node at 20 of Taurus and Scorpio. So there is a karmic element to this, especially that it's a full moon in Capricorn. But then you add the luminaries in alignment with the nodes in exact position. There is what you can't see at the moment, a very powerful force that is coming into your life about, are you ready to take your life serious? And are you sure you're prepared to go where you want to go? Are you ready to do the emotional work? Are you ready to be honest with your emotions? Are you ready to look at the factual stuff, especially with Venus being in square to Neptune, right? Like, are you ready to get rid of the fantasies you're creating, especially about people or values or even things that honestly are very ADHD oriented that make you feel good for a second, but they really don't? This is where you don't want to be feeling empty. Because especially when we sit and we wait and we hope for some sort of return and some sort of maybe investment we made emotionally, or maybe we've gambled in a weird way, right? Uranus is opposing the South Node. We've gambled in a weird way on thinking that we've put tons of things of value without seeing a return. But did we actually put anything there, or do we put it in some sort of weird kind of like, I don't know, like desperation? Hopefully things will change emotionally. Like, we got to be transparent and real with people. We got to be transparent and real with ourselves of where we're sitting in our lives. And we also don't have to do what other people want to tell us to do. This is where we have to know in ourselves right now, what is the emotional need? And this Mercury sextile Uranus, it's great. Even seeing that this full moon in Capricorn is trining Uranus, right? So this is a breakthrough full moon. Like, it's time to break out of the energy that you're not emotionally being fulfilled with anymore. Period. I know it's difficult. But how else are you going to get to the place where it's better? I mean, I feel like I use the Jurassic Park reference a lot. I love that series. But it's just like, are you just going to sit there and watch all the other dinosaurs as the gates lose their electricity? And you could actually be free and have the life that you want. And you're just going to sit there and be like, no, I'm going to sit in my own weird, controlled element where I have control of my emotional life, but I'm really not seeing anything change. I'm really not seeing anything go better. Well, it's time to break through the fence. It's time to break through the weird emotional places that our mind, that our emotions get wrapped up in, especially around things of the past that make no more sense, things that spiritually don't align with us anymore, or that don't just periodly align at all, and things that make us feel better or that make us that are toxic to us, like this Saturn in Aquarius and the nice trine to Venus is definitely something that's saying, hey, like, let's look at the facts and let's look at what connects. And when it's very simple in yourself, where it's like, this makes sense, this connects, can take me forward. Everything about this, full moon in Capricorn, trine Uranus itself with the North Node, Saturn trine Venus, in air signs in Aquarius, Gemini. So much about this is like, how do I move forward now and do what makes sense and be honest about where my emotions feel that without being fanatical and being like, well, my imagination would like it this way, but the facts don't add up. So you know what? I'm going to let go of that looping pattern in my head, and I'm going to actually put my feet on the ground and drop the wasted energy, because we get, like I said, Mars in Taurus, not an easy placement. It's slow. And it's especially slower when we have too much that we're holding on weight-wise, energetically, especially emotionally right now. This is definitely not the time to be holding on to emotional stuff that isn't working in our lives. And people and situations and projects and career is a big part of this. And how are we going to hold up? We're already in a world that's on stilts when it comes to the financial energies with all this Taurus, Uranus energy, North Node. Like, what's going to get us through the crazier financial changes that are going to happen in the collective? Having a good personal life, having good relationships that make sense, having good friends that make sense, having good, placements where people are about us because they can be there for us, they can show up for us, we can communicate our emotions clearly, we don't have to be in crazy land. Think about what's coming in the career, in the job market. Right? This is Pluto at the end of Capricorn. The old ways and the way of the money system and the financial system built into the way that we work for a living and stuff is coming to an end, like the way that it is. And I've said this for years. I've said it for God knows how long. But it's like, this is a full moon that's going to be covering, like, you better, and I better get our asses into fucking gear here and go, what the fuck am I doing wasting my time on this bullshit that's not serving me emotionally? It's not serving my life, and I don't feel emotionally happy. I'm done doing that. I'm done in the loops. I can see through where I've been imaginative or I've been scared of letting the surrender of spirit come in and bring me these beautiful things. There's beautiful things, because even this full moon in Capricorn is in sextile to Neptune too. So it's like, this is the art of surrender to what is divine, whether that's in alignment or not in alignment, right? We surrender to things that aren't in alignment. Okay, bye. We surrender to things that are in alignment and reap the beautiful gifts that come with them. So I think that this is an extremely important full moon to get your life into gear here, to correct, whether you want to call them mistakes or correct just your life to be more in alignment with where you emotionally want to be, especially when you're dealing with Capricorn and Cancer axis. You're dealing with your foundation, and you're dealing with where that foundation is going to reach its pinnacle moment in your life, or the reason why you're here. So this is a huge moment where you got to look at, especially with Venus even too being in Gemini, right? Like your environment that makes you feel good, but really your emotional personal life that has huge desires and needs, but has to be reality. You can't just keep imagining like, one day I'll do that, or one day I'll go on a date, or one day I'll finally talk to that person, or one day I'll finally try that job, or one day I'll try that business, or one day. You can't do that anymore. That's not doing shit. And there's not a lot of energy left. This is going to be a rough rest of the year with Mars getting ready to retrograde here on Halloween. It's not going much farther, okay? It's already in Taurus at detriment. Let's just look at that. Oh, yeah. This is a full moon in detriment. Not happy here. Mars not happy here. Look at the negative point. -1. So action is everything right now to build a better life. But even deeper than that too, knowing that Mercury is at full speed, doing over 2 degrees a day right now, but at the same time squaring Chiron. So, yes, it's got the nice Uranus sextile, but look at Chiron here, which is about to retrograde too. It's going slow. It's only doing 18 seconds a day. And it's at 16 Aries, and this Mercury is at 17. So it's a fast thing, but it's like, this full moon's bringing up like, I am done. This is not who I want to be. This is not where I want to go. This is not feeling good emotionally, whatever the situation might be. Even just sitting in your room or sitting in your house. I felt like I needed to change the way that one of my I have many sets here at the High Vibe Studios, but I'm like, I'm changing it up. This is another one of my sets when I just want to do astrology with people. I'll get it better, but at least I'm trying something different that makes me feel better. I was sick of sitting in my music studio because then it turned into not me doing music. And here, my library, I can do astrology and I can do, you know what I mean? So it's like, when you take action right now on things that feel good, you're going to feel good and that make you feel better. But if you're going to just sit around and just hope that the world's going to change and you don't have to do shit, not a good time for you. And if you're focused so much on the pain and the victimization, and that's all your mind's wrapped around in, you're not going anywhere. This is where Capricorn says, shut the fuck up. You want emotion that's going to feel good? Let's go get it. Let's go change, especially with Pluto there. Let's get to the root. Let's find it. And let's, more importantly, be adult enough to not cry our way through spilled milk or it's things that don't matter, because let's get it. Let's go get the life that we want to get, and let's stop wasting our time with stupid people, especially friends, people that don't really show up for us emotionally or are not fair and are not understanding how to be cool. Out. That's this Venus trine Saturn and this Venus square Neptune, right? Like, it's not worth it spiritually to keep trying to take care of people that don't offer the same back in return. And Capricorn's about growing up and saying, fuck it, I'm going to do this. I'm going to go and I'm going to be the person and I'm going to go take a step in a better direction. And even though it might feel like, especially with this Mars Taurus and this Jupiter that's stopping, right? Jupiter's ready to go retrograde with that new moon that's coming here on the 28th of July, right? So if you look at Jupiter here, yeah, Jupiter's, oh wait, sorry, I was looking at the speed. Jupiter is, yeah, 2 minutes a day. It's starting to, it's getting ready to slow down to nothing. So there's not a lot of more opportunities left this year to get what you want. This is the full moon that wakes you up for it. This is the full moon. Remember, that new moon that we had already in Cancer was in square to Jupiter. So this is bringing up, are you missing out on the emotional thing because you're going towards, I just need to do me and figure out me, but you're actually not really doing anything? Or you're going in areas where you're like, well, I'm not building any emotional foundation, or I'm not building emotions. This is where this is the check, because it's very, I would say, reversed, right? It's like almost like Capricorn's being like, all right, y'all motherfuckers want some emotion that feels good. Y'all want to feel safe. Y'all want to feel secure. Y'all want to feel good. Well, fucking stop doing it in areas that isn't satisfying and doesn't make any logical sense. To continue to be looking at your life like, fuck this, or I'm upset, or this isn't really working, or I can't find what I want, or it's not emotionally available in life. It's like, shut the fuck up. Let's go get it. Like, stop wasting your time talking to that person that's not giving it to you. Stop wasting your time at that job that's not emotionally doing well for you foundationally. And stop doing the things in life that are not taking you to the life that you want. Period. Anything that's not in that, this is the time it's got to go, because there's not much time left. Jupiter retrograde coming. Mars retrograde on Halloween coming. This is not going to be a year that has much more time left. I'm not going to lie. By the new moon, which is 2 weeks from now, that's it. Santa Claus is like, I've got all the gifts ready on the bag to go. And we're going to see the revealing of that retrograde there for those months while Mars retrogrades into 2023. I mean, I don't know if people are aware and awake yet to that. You just can't just be sitting on the couch and just doing like, you know, like this is your moment to go, I got to get back and check in my life. I got to make some moves, and I'm going to have to make some cuts to get and gain the emotional things I want. And I can't be in a battle with my mind and my emotions. Like, I've got to find a way for them to come together. My mind is going, it's very clear. My emotions need, and I need care, and I need a personal life that feels uplifting to myself, and that will take me to a physical reality that I can feel it. That's the Mercury sextile Uranus. But also where I'm not playing victim about what hasn't happened or what has transpired or that I haven't got it the way I got to yet with that Chiron square. No, like realize, like, let yourself move forward. That's how we heal in Chiron Aries. And with that opposition to that moon in Capricorn, it's like, hey, my emotional way to actually get things is by saying no and reserving my energy only for the highest, top, and the best, especially with Mars there being in Taurus. Like, I'm not going to fuck around with, like, especially this is not the time to settle. I'm just going to settle. I'm going to settle on this. I'm going to settle. I'm going to keep staying settled as well. I'm going to just keep saying I'm settled on this. Not going to work. You're going to feel horrible the rest of this year. You're going to feel horrible. You know, one day, the whole one day thing, this is Capricorn. Saturn's the most powerful planet right now. Has been for years. Since we entered into the end of 2017, on December 21st, 2017, when Saturn entered Capricorn, if you look at 96% of the charts, even in 2019, which happened to be a lot of planets in their home sign, Saturn was still edging out everything for the longest. So this is a full moon in Capricorn where it might be like, oh God, I'm going to have to make changes and I'm going to do this shit. Yeah, you do. But it's exciting because, God, it feels good to cut out the bullshit. It feels good to cut out the things that are not making us feel good in our lives and actually go towards the things and have a plan. And that plan is by observing what you need to hold up the plan. Right? That the plan really is, fuck, I've got a lot of plans. I've got a lot of ambition. I don't think that's the issue for people. I think it's more of the ambition of realizing, shit, I need to have the right emotional place in my life to hold up so it doesn't feel like I'm on stilts every day. So it doesn't feel like even if I am ambitious, it's still on stilts. We all know that it's going to be crazy financially over these next couple weeks that are building. We all know that the job market is never going to be the same again, and it's ready to crumble. We all know that we're seeing governments around the world. Sri Lanka, Boris Johnson resignation, the ex-prime minister in Japan. What do you think this is all about? Things that involve all countries. War. So are you prepared? Or are you just going to let it all just... You know, Jordan Peterson, who just got banned off Twitter for the dumbest reason of all time. I'm sorry to say, but he's even saying it through all the data that's out. Over 150 million people are predicted to die as we come into the fall from hunger in poor nations. But they're all going to start coming up into all these other areas. And with Pluto getting ready to come into Aquarius and stuff... Are you sure you know about all people in life while being in a Western country? When they're all, it's like the scene that you see in Sri Lanka at the presidential building, right? Like, what? What's going to happen? Are you prepared? Do you have the right people in your life? That's what that Saturn-Venus trine is. Or are you just so just like lost in your own crazy story or crazy story about others that might be really good for you? Like, oh no, that person's bad, blah, 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 but I'm gonna stay with this piece of shit. Oh, okay, that's real nice. You're real smart. You know, like this is about being smart by being like, fuck, I know exactly what my emotions are telling me. I know exactly what spirit is guiding me to. I know exactly right now at this moment where is going to be the best place for me to get through these crazy times and where I can feel not settled because I settled on bullshit, but I can feel settled because I feel emotionally happy and I feel like I'll be able to, even when the world is on stilts, get through this shit. And if you can't be honest with yourself that that's the message, and you can't be honest with yourself with a full moon in Capricorn conjunct Pluto, that's get to the bottom of where destiny is calling in your life and stop wasting your time fucking around. It's going to be so fast. 2 weeks, no more options, no more changing the stories. You're going to see the change of stories of things that you already initiated in, but no, it's not going to be clear blue sky and new things. Jupiter retrogrades suck. They're only good about bringing the stuff that you advanced into and that you opened up, and especially in Aries, when it retrogrades back into Pisces like 2010, it does bring amazing, beautiful gifts, especially that it conjuncted Neptune. But if you really think about it on like a weird way, this shit's about to get fucking where it can feel like, especially when Jupiter retrogrades back into Pisces in the months ahead, like why didn't I take action? Or I didn't get nothing, and I'm having to survive off the trust that God will just make me through this moment and find the light out at the end of the tunnel at some point. This is not to fuck around with, people. It's not. And with Saturn and Uranus getting ready back for their squares, the shattered reality that we had last year is about to double down more this year. So everything about the weird ways that they told you that, oh, the science works, and look at how they're now backing out, which I told you all. What do you think they're going to try again? What do you think? Like, the shattered reality is going to be also some of the stuff that, you know, oh, that was never possible, or that wouldn't happen to me. Oh, it's possible. The idea that you don't think that something's possible in your life to happen, whether it's good, bad, or ugly, is crazy during heavy Uranian times in life. Especially with the North Node and Uranus being in conjunct, and with Mars approaching it, and that Saturn's in Aquarius. You'd be crazy if you think, oh, that will never happen to me. I'll be fine. They'll be fine. No. This is where you get your shit straight, and you know how to plan ahead, and you know how to get your shit tight by tightening up the ship to get what you need emotionally in your life and make sure that that ship can get to the emotional life that you want to get in your life, opposed to just going to every port and having fun and really not actually having fun and just trying to be stimulated in stupid ways and continuing in your same patterns and your same cycles and thinking, oh, it'll change. No, it won't until you make an action bold move. It's Capricorn full moon. It's cardinal energy, even with that sun in Cancer. Cancer's cardinal. It's emotional action we take. And then you've got Jupiter in Aries. You've got to be bold or you don't go to the doors that are open. These are doors that have to be like, I got to show up and I got to actually know who I am and I got to do it. I got to do it. I got to take action on it. If I don't, I'm screwed. So I'll show you what I showed people on High Vibe. Of course, they saw this last week already. Oh, I don't need to do that. Here we are. This is the helio chart. So this is the chart with the sun being at the center of the chart, right? So here's Earth. Oh, that's July 6th. So here we are. Let me get out of that stupid thing. Okay, here we are. Sorry about that. That was a week prior. Here we are. So this is the sun at the center, right? Okay. This is for the full moon. I ran it on the full moon. If you were to look at it from the sun's point of view, Earth is about to crash into Pluto, even though Pluto's way far out, but we're about to align directly with Pluto. 2. Mars is about to finally conjunct Neptune and Jupiter. Jupiter and Neptune just conjuncted within the last month, helio-wise. I know they conjuncted in April, Geo. But this is now where the activation of the biggest doors and the biggest dreams are finally on both systems coming together. Okay? So this is not a time to fuck around, because here's the doors to the ultimate life that you want. And if you don't believe that that's possible, to have the ultimate dream of your life, because you're too afraid to exit out of stupid patterns, stupid emotional situations where you're not feeling the emotion, not be honest with yourself about what you feel is your destiny's call, and activating your true divine mission here, and do the things that you know you're here to do that are already embedded within you. Let's be honest. The idea that you don't know what you're here to do right now is insane. It's more insane that you don't act upon it and start acting in it every day and being that. That's what the astrology says, especially when we will never see this in our lives again. We will never see this in our lives again. So, you know, this is extreme positive, but are you going to miss it because, you know, I don't want to make decisions and I'm not ready to make the biggest, boldest changes in my life? Pluto will repel on you if you won't make the change. It'll make the change for you in a way that you don't want to, and that'll be the lesson, right? That'll be the lesson. And I don't think that people want that to be the lesson. You know what I mean? I think people, like, if you want any idea of feeling of control, which I don't believe we have much in this life, but the only idea we have would be by following the astrology and being like, okay, it's time to take a bold move in my life. It's time to get out of this weird emotional place in this personal life situation that is not taking me to the reality physically that actually is going to take me to a better place. It's reminding me of dinosaurs in Jurassic Park, leaving the fucking fences and going into not the fucking park anymore, but creating the world that they want to live in. This is you. If you're going to just stay circled up because you feel safe in this fucking cage, because they bring the sheep and the goats for you up the elevator to eat. You don't want to go hunt? A lot of sheep on this planet right now. Then, look at this. This full moon is happening exactly from the sun's point of view with Venus and Taurus directly conjuncting Uranus. Exact. So if you're trying to tell me right now that, oh no, relationship stuff is not having to do with them, everything's all kosher in my relationship life. Oh my gosh. Boy, is Uranus just gonna go, and this full moon of Capricorn, and there's Mars and Taurus being like, damn, I'm giving all my fucking resources, all my energy, all my value away to something that I don't identify with or that I don't want in my life. And I'm feeling tired and I'm feeling like I'm not getting what I want. Exactly, because that's what you're doing. God, I can go all day. That's why I'm on High Vibe. But, you know, if you're on YouTube, and I know that you probably like the shows that I'm doing, that I'm back, but if you notice, they're much more about the broader spiritual life. You want the astrology, it's on High Vibe. I'm not going to be out here on YouTube. I always promise people new and full moons. But you want this every day? You want the weekly stuff that I go through this every day to help people through? People that are on High Vibe, they understand all. They already know all this shit. They already knew it all. So they're prepared by the time it comes. Instead of me, you hearing it now and you're being at your house like, fuck, shit, damn it. It's the whole point. So, you know, are you going to go have fun on CoStar on the crack app and that doesn't give you much except a line and fucking try and tell you what your friends fucking are trying to tell you, like, how they would react to life? Like, come on. This is a time to know where to go because it's embedded within you. And honestly, there's amazing people here on YouTube, but I only would put them in a handful of 15 people, from astrologers to tarot to Palladian channels to people. I have like my little list of like 10 to 15. Everybody else sucks, okay? They're not fucking telling you about your power. They're not giving you the open doors to fucking this whole universe and how you can access your greatest life. They're not. I'm sorry to tell you. And so, like, I'm not telling you get off YouTube. I'm just telling you be honest with yourself too. Like, is this person really helping me really be honest and look deep in myself about having a better life? Are they willing to give it to me straight? Or is it all fluff and they're too afraid? Are they following the agenda of what the media is saying? Like, come on. The divine is saying so much. You know what's also interesting when I was showing him? The polarities is 10 stuff here. I mean, I'm throwing some asteroids and stuff in here, but there's like no masculine up there in the helio point of view of things. And also, the other thing is, too, is all the planets are on one side of the zodiac. Same thing for this full moon, right? From the moon to the sun, all the planets are on 180-degree side. Okay? So there's a huge missing pie in our life that we have to go fill. And it doesn't happen until the 18th when finally Mercury's going to oppose Pluto. And that's the other side of 27 degrees is 28. And when it gets to 28, then, okay. So this is where this is more than just, okay, this one day. It's fucking now until this Monday coming up here, the 18th. What day is that going to be? The 18th? That you literally fucking do it. Do it. Don't stall. Stall the shit that sucks ass. Completely. Period. There's no more time to waste. You know? There's not enough patience. I'm sorry to say, people are going to probably go, well, Capricorn's patient. No, Capricorn's like, get the fuck to work, motherfuckers. I'm impatient because you guys are fucking around and not on time. And especially with Jupiter and Aries, which even this full moon in Capricorn knows, fuck, Jupiter's about to go back into Pisces. I don't know if I'm happy about that, motherfucker. I like this fucking let's go. I like this let's go. I like this fucking Cancer, like needing to understand what you need to show up to your destiny. Are you activating your truth to activate your destiny? Are you emotionally sure that you're locked in emotionally in the right energy and the right positions? Because there's something that is missing in our life. Now, you can be whole and content in your heart, you can be whole and content in your soul, and I get all that stuff, but there's something in this reality that's missing, and there's also something in this reality, which, of course, I've been talking about on all my lectures and all my stuff that I've been doing lately, that's out there frequency-wise that's fucking with this collective. So when you're dealing with, we're all knowing that there's something missing here in our emotional life that we need for our destinies, and there's a weird, creepy energy from the universe coming in that's fucking with our natural divine order of things. You're trying to tell me that everything's kosher? That you're not willing to look at fucking shit a little bit deeper? Like, am I sure this is really my best activation? Is this my best activation of who I really am? Is this my best self that I could be? Am I really on my true mission, or am I just fucking a drone? Literally, are you fucking a drone? Oh, God. All right, let's do the cards. Make sure you're on HiVibe. Just go to highvibe.tv for the best deals, or if you're on your iPhone app, you're on Roku, you're on your Android, HiVibe TV, or even the Apple TV store. All right, let's see what's going on with the cards here. I know. It's time to straighten things out. All right. I just did a bunch of horoscopes on HiVibe, so let me shuffle these a couple of times. Yes, I did. That's where I do all my sun sign horoscopes. It's where I do all my weeklies. It's where I do my dailies. It's where I do my intuitive reports. Where I do my weekly tarot. It's where I do deep astrology. It's where I do full disclosure, the stuff that we can't say on YouTube. And then it's where my weekend reports are. It's where spiritual dance music never gets canceled, right, by YouTube. Like, I don't know what to tell. I don't know what to tell people. And there's a bunch of other people at IBIB, and it's a whole community and everything. I just don't know. I don't even know. We're at a point where I just surrendered to the universe about it. Like, people want to be part of a cool spiritual network and actually get the real deal, or they just want to fucking take the free chum that's crap. Like, it's Taurus, people. It's Taurus time. No Taurus. Uranus Taurus. Like, it's time for you to realize that it's not about crypto right now. South Node Scorpio. You think if you're lost in investments and all that shit, you ain't gonna get shit. It's not Taurus. It's about building yourself up and building yourself to understand your life and make the life that you want. Stop looking for get rich quick or even get my spiritual life quick schemes. That shit ain't gonna ever work. Sorry to tell you. Never does. And especially now more than ever. No such thing. No such thing. It's all about Taurus. It's about the long building and the understanding of your values, which is the most important thing. All right, let's see what's the cards for this full moon that I'm picking up on here. Knight of Cups in reversed. Yeah, I definitely am feeling it's time for us to get moving emotionally in the right places and stop being stuck emotionally and being like sinking in the fucking mud and the emotional waters where we're not moving forward and we're not feeling good. It's time to get that horse. I know it can feel a little intimidating, but this reversal is telling me that people are just like too stuck. You got to get out of this feeling stuck energy. I'm stuck emotionally. I don't know where I'm going. I'm kind of just like, that's not normal and that's not the way to be right now. King of Wands that followed that, yeah, and it's upright. I definitely feel like it's time for us to realize to take back our lives are in the right direction is by what? Putting your highest passion, your highest creativity, your highest love, and not being afraid to move forward emotionally in that direction and leave emotionally the stuck positions that aren't that higher place, that aren't that great throne that we sit on of that true masculine, passionate energy and that loyalty we have for ourselves, that we don't take bullshit and we don't take stuck emotional places in our life to be unhappy. Like, we just don't. That's not what we do. That's not what we do as Lightworkers. Spiritual advice here the challenge is the Three of Pentacles. I feel like, you know what, it's time for people to start coming together that need to come together and build beautiful things, whether it is like in this one, making a porn. But, you know, I love Badass Tarot, by the way. I love you should get the Badass Tarot 2 deck. Look it up. It's awesome. Harley does a great job on these. But, you know, this Three of Pentacles here is, I think the problem is a bunch of the wrong people are all mixed together right now. And it's like, we need to start finding the right things. And also, if you're just trying to do things alone, it's stupid. That's the main part of the card. The Three of Pentacles is a bunch of people that get together that understand the same project and get together. And it comes the best because of that. You can't build the 16th chapel. You can't do all these amazing, beautiful things. You can't build the pyramids. You can't do anything in life by yourself. So I feel like this is a moment where it's like, am I really with the right energy that's really building the life that I want? Fuck. Or if you are, who else is there that's out there and looking for that? Reshuffle? No. The Chariot reversed. Look at this overall outcome card that I got here. The Chariot reversed. People are too afraid to move into the new direction. And I'm getting that, especially with that Knight of Cups reversed. People are too afraid to move to where the divine is taking. And this is literally a full moon in Capricorn with the nodes in alignment. This is a karmic, dharma, amazing moment in your life. And if you're going to be too afraid to move forward in your life and you're just going to keep, I need to find more, I need to understand more, I need to understand more, I need to understand more. You're an idiot at this point. How much more facts do you need? How much more do you need to understand when it's very clear where you should be going right now, what you should be doing factually, instead of you trying to continue to make up the crazy story that I need more information. It's like, you need more information because you're too afraid. You're too afraid to move forward. You're too afraid to move into the destiny that you're here to do. You're too afraid to have the life that you really want to do. Exactly. Reshuffling your personal life. Like, I don't know what to tell people, but look at the world and what's about to happen. If you really think nothing's going to happen, you're crazy. Like, don't start acting like, oh no, everything's going to be fine. The leader of the free world can't even say his own sentences. It's all a show. It's all a TV show, literally. You know? Like, that's scary. What's spiritual advice? Full reverse. Don't be, you know what? That's exactly what I was just saying. Are you an idiot in life? I hate to say it, but the full reverse is like the one, in my opinion, the only card that literally is like you're falling off a cliff because you're being dumb. The spiritual advice is please don't go off the cliff here. Please literally you're heading off a cliff and it's time to wake up and you're going to fly the fuck off. And you're not in your true happiness. You're not in the beginning of the beautiful start that you could be having that's beautiful. No, you're still stuck. You're still stuck in between scenes and you're thinking that it'll all be okay as you're in the backseat of the car and you're just like nodding off and the driver's nodding off too and headed towards the cliff. Like, what are you doing? I'll pick a card for this full moon for love advice. One. That's it. No clarifying card. No. I just want to pull one card. That's it for people out there. I know y'all miss Deep Love Tarot and all that shit. 559 people. Appreciate y'all being here. All right. You know, somebody left a good comment on my new show that I'm doing with Brian on Spiritual Daddy last night. Oh, the feminine will start waking up when all the food goes. I was like, damn. Oh, shit. What, like, ladies, have you thought about that yet? Have you thought about it? Even if you're growing your own food, oh, you got some tomatoes and you got some fucking, some cloves. What else you got back there? You think you're gonna be okay? Like, are you sure? Do you have a huge farming operation? Fucking like, come on. Oh, grow your own food. Fucking like, okay, you better have a fucking farm. Like, you know what I mean? Like, do you have are you sure you're with a masculine that's gonna go fucking get into some kitchen cupboards and shit? And get into the back of some stores and shit when it goes cray-cray? And know how to get out that you're not gonna be getting government fucking like, here's your fucking meal fucking like in a fucking space case from 1963? Like, are you that? Come on. I don't grow food. I store food. I store food that'll give me 2,000 calories 3 times a day. I store food that'll last for decades and that I will have for over a year and a half. So I'll be fine. Why grow food and deal with that? Especially, what if things get crazy and you got to run and go? You're just going to take your tomato fucking plant with you? Like, oh, you take Mr. Tomato with me. Fucking da-da-da-da-da-da. Get it in the truck. Oh, he doesn't have a truck. He has a fucking Prius. Oh, great. We have to get over some fucking roads that fucking don't have, we're going to have to off-road a little bit. Are you all thinking? Oh, man. That's why I'm doing Spiritual Daddy, because it's waking people up. It's waking the feminine up. Like, yo, the masculine's here for a reason, and it's for these reasons. So, like, I've already got all that figured out. You know what I mean? Like, I've already got all that shit figured out. A bunch of other divine masculines I know I got that shit figured out there. But, take your little tomato plant. Like, come on, babe, take the tomato plant. Like, yeah. Okay. Do you know where you're going? Do you know how to hide yourself in a place where the government isn't going to come, where other people are going to try and find you, and still go get water that's accessible and have your own power, even if there is an EMP strike or there is? Do you have all that shit? Man, that's going to be an episode I'm going to do on Spiritual Daddy. All right. Love. I'll clear the energy from that. What's going on with love? One card. That's it. For this full moon in Capricorn. What's going on? 10 of Pentacles reversed. Not having a stable unit of building the greatest castle and foundation and family unit and amazing energy where you build the greatest place with. So this is where people have to come together to build things together. But if it's already built together and it's not working, then you got to get out. Or if that person doesn't want to build together and create everything from top to bottom, not worth it. There you go. HighVibe.tv. Make sure that you subscribe on the Apple app or on Google on your Android, or of course on Roku, or go to HighVibe.tv for the best deals where you can do 6-month plans, 3-month plans for a subscription, and 1 month. Also, all my schools down below, all on sale as a package. I have a $100 package and I have a $500 for every school. And the 100 gives you every school but my new Hypergate manifestation class, which all my schools I've done for the last 5 years have all bridged into one huge crazy school. I just did it, so that's why it's saying at $400. But you're not going to find a deal like that anywhere, especially with the hundreds of hours in pro video style and how I do this and how I teach in every direction. How to do your own way of life, more than just like how to read charts, but how to like literally do your love life, how to literally manifest, how to break out of the matrix, how to do all of it. Literally, $100 down below. I can't even believe I'm crazy enough to do that. I know the value of it, but when it goes back to its normal price, everybody's gonna be pissed. I'm doing it to help people out because of the fucking craziness with the economy. I get it. We're all there. That's why High Vibes never changes price. I don't change the price. Netflix is going up, everything else is going up. No. I'm fucking holding it down for the collective and keeping it cool. Trust me, and people all think like, oh, Leo King, you're so well off. Oh, you have no idea. I'm using credit cards and shit. You know what I mean? When I start using credit cards, like, okay. It's because we're all going through it. We all have to figure it all out. We all have to figure it all out. And what we do to contribute to the collective, to bring something of value, is where the only place to make money is right now. That's Saturn in Aquarius and Uranus and Taurus. So if you're not bringing anything beneficial to the world that makes people feel like, gosh, I'm getting some insight that's actually going to be valuable for my life and move me forward, then nobody's into it right now. Nobody cares about TVs anymore. No, unless you need the TV to do something for the world. You know, nobody cares about like fucking all this bullshit. Like, we only care about deeper emotions now and finding the connections and building a great life together and bringing all those kibbles together and fucking making shit beautiful. I love you all very much. Thanks for all the support. Thanks for making me always the #1 video on YouTube for astrology whenever I post a video on horoscopes for all these years, and the #1 channel whenever I do that and you do #astrology. I'm always at the top, and I appreciate you all so much. Thank you. I love you all so much. I'll see you all on the next one. I'll see you on High Vibe, and especially tonight before dawn with Dylan. I'll see you all. Adios. Bye.